Now at 6, how the Jasper County Juvenile Office is using technology to keep track of some troubled teens. Plus, a Southeast Kansas high school earns national recognition from Special Olympics. And how Carthage Tech Center students are taking to the sky remotely.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The Jasper County Juvenile Office is using new technology to keep track of teens in the program. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Dow Quick. RFID is a radio frequency ID that teenagers wear while they're on the premises. It helps staff members keep track of the amount of time teens spend on education, meals, exercise, and other information required by the state.
So we have to make sure that they're taken care of. This technology allows me a little more freedom and a lot more trust, with my detention officers to make sure that things are done properly, things are done right, and kind of ensures that, the children are getting what they need while they're back there.
The Jasper County Juvenile Office is the first and only juvenile office in Missouri to use this technology. Let's check in with Sam Lane now for our first look at the weather.
Boy, what a beautiful day across the area with lots of sunshine and warm temperatures and light winds. Radar is all clear right now, so if you're heading out to the football games, including the big one down in Anderson, Missouri tonight between the Lamar Tigers and the Mcdonald County Mustangs, looks like it's going to be a pretty good kickoff temperature of 72 degrees with mostly fair skies, just a few cirrus clouds, and by halftime around 65. Might need a jacket by the end of the game. All right, let's take a look ahead, and you can see that we're going to have chilly nights and warmer weekend in our forecast as well, and also some rain chances, so that's pretty good news. But first I want to also take a look at Ian, as Ian has made its impact in the Carolinas today, moving inland now, and is expected to continue to move up towards the north and west, and then by tomorrow afternoon be over western parts of Virginia, creating lots of problems for them. Then it kind of moves out into the Atlantic and does all these loop-de-loops, but unfortunately it's not going to be impacting our weather in our region, and that's good news, but we do need some rainfall, Dow.
All right, we'll see you soon. A couple from Derby, Kansas are among Red Cross volunteers heading to Florida to help with relief efforts in the wake of Hurricane Ian. They're driving an emergency vehicle to Orlando. They expect to arrive tomorrow. Although they've been at recovery efforts in Kansas before, this is going to be a totally new experience.
Because we don't know what we're going to see when we get down there. We did the Andover tornado. We saw a lot of destruction there and how people reacted there. Like I said, we were born and raised in Kansas, so we've seen tornadoes, but we've never been to a hurricane. We don't know what kind of destruction we're going to see or anything along that line.
I think it's going to be massive.
The couple's experience includes helping with the Andover tornado recovery efforts. They expect to be in Florida for at least 2 weeks. Iola High School in Kansas is getting honored for its inclusive environment. KOAM's Yana Hautala spoke to a teacher and 2 athletes as they were decorating their homecoming float for this evening's home football game.
Iola High School has been part of Special Olympics for a while, but when the new teacher and coach Ann Bates took over, she wanted to apply for the unified sports.
This is a program offered through Special Olympics, and what it does is it partners our Special Olympics athletes with their non-disabled peers.
All 7 students in the classroom have a peer partner training with them.
When we first started, that wasn't the case. We had only a couple peers that wanted to try it out, but it's kind of grown over the years, so that's really exciting.
The athletes are also happy about having their own partners.
Basically just help each other out during all of our events and everything.
One of the peers thinks training with the students with intellectual disabilities teaches them how to be more open and think outside of a box.
Meeting new people, having fun, and seeing how it's like for other people. My mom's taught me to always treat people how you'd want to be treated.
Peer buddies really get a lot out of it too. They learn to become a little more empathetic, a little more compassionate, and that type of thing. So I think it's really a good balance of that.
Bates says social media posts of the athletes and their non-ID peers working out together has brought them attention.
All of our events and practices, and I post those onto there, so we kind of try to get the community to see kind of what we're doing and what the kids are doing. So I think that's a big reason why we did get this award, was the different things we shared on social media this last year.
In Iola, Yana Hautala, KOAM News.
The high school is going to receive a banner for the achievement during halftime at their football game tonight. The drone pilot industry is really taking off, and Carthage Tech Center students are working with Steadley Elementary in Carthage for some hands-on drone flying. With Steadley Elementary's 25th anniversary coming up, the Tech students flew the drone for some aerial footage of the teachers and students to send into the district. This is just one way for the students to help the community and learn at the same time.
I love seeing the students out and about doing videos. It makes me smile because I see them doing things that are fun for them, but yet they're learning and they're developing and they're learning skills that is going to help them for their lifetime.
The Association for Unmanned Vehicle Systems International predicts that by the year 2025, at least 100,000 jobs will be created for drone pilots. Plant lovers and researchers have a lot to look forward to at Pitt State. Pitt State hosted an open house today for their newly renovated Sperry Herbarium. The herbarium has been on campus since 1946 and has been host to a variety of plants or liveworts, hornworts, and mosses. It's open to researchers during the academic year, which is August through April.
It feels good. It really does. I pointed out in a talk just a few minutes ago that I'm really kind of the orchestrator. I'm in charge of the herbarium. I'm the director, but I inherited that from previous people. I will pass that on years later, but it does feel very good.
The herbarium started with 100 specimens. It's now host to more than 50,000 specimens, with 3,000 yet to be logged. Coming up, we're going to hear from the Arkansas Attorney General on their thoughts on student loan forgiveness. Plus, Medical Lodge in Neosho prepares for the fall season with their Harvest Fest event.
Your vote is...
We're learning more about the lawsuit filed by Missouri, Kansas, Arkansas, and 3 other states in opposition to the federal student loan forgiveness plan. Now, we told you yesterday the attorneys general in both Missouri and Kansas argued the proposal is illegal. As Natalie Brand reports, the AG in Arkansas feels the same way.
This action by President Biden will quite literally change and save lives.
While Democratic lawmakers and student groups celebrate President Biden's plan to cancel student debt and call for the Department of Education to quickly implement it,
in reality, the president's actions violate the law and are beyond his authority.
Arkansas's Attorney General, joined by 5 other GOP states, are suing. They want to block the administration's plan to forgive up to $10,000 in student debt for those earning less than $125,000 and up to $20,000 for Pell Grant recipients.
The administration argues that a law passed by Congress, the HEROES Act, allows the White House to act in times of national emergency.
But President Biden is using this law to justify this forgiveness program, with COVID being the national emergency. Perhaps President Biden has simply forgotten that he declared the COVID pandemic over.
Persis Yu of the Student Borrower Protection Center says the Department of Education is still working to release the application for borrowers in October.
There are a lot of lawsuits flying, but the administration is going forward, and so borrowers should get ready to apply for this relief.
But in a change announced Thursday, the Department of Education says borrowers with federal loans owned by private banks will not qualify for the new forgiveness unless they consolidated their loans into the government's direct lending program before Thursday. Natalie Brandt, CBS News, Washington.
The nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office this week estimated the administration's program will cost around $400 billion over the next 3 decades. The Department of Education released its own estimate, saying it would cost around $379 billion over the life of the program. Medical Lodges in Neosho, Missouri kicked off the fall season with their Harvest Fest. The Harvest Fest is a way to welcome in the fall with some fun and music. Folks also get the chance to ride on a wagon with Clydesdale horses. And if you're in Kansas, you can get in on some fun in Parsons. The city is holding their 5th Friday event. This is a live look. You can head over there, find it from Main Street to Broadway. At 5th Friday, you can find food, vendors, music, and a whole lot more. A little bit later, we're going to preview some of the big matchups ahead of tonight's Friday night football action.
And we're going to have a look at the forecast, which includes a pretty nice weekend across the area, so you want to stay tuned for that.
At some
Friends, we have started off the weekend on a great start with lots of sunshine and cool temperatures in the morning and warm afternoons and light winds, and that's continuing right into this evening down in Syndica, Missouri with the Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Just a few clouds floating by, and that's pretty much the case across the entire area. Check out these morning lows. Can you believe it? It was down to 40 degrees this morning in Stockton. Yes, 40s, lower 40s in fact. 41 in Greenfield, 42 in Lamar. Even here in Joplin, we dropped down to 42. A little bit warmer in Yates Center where they dropped down to 51 this morning. But because of the dry air, it allowed temperatures to really warm up this afternoon into the upper 70s to around 80 degrees, especially out to the west. A little bit cooler over in Marnette, where they're currently sitting at 71 and on the hour, 77 for our friends down in Grove. All right, right now in Joplin, beautiful skies. 79 was our high today. 42 was where we started out. Of course, that was a little bit above normal, but at least we weren't near that record of 93 back in 1952 or the 30 back in 1984. Now, over the last month, we have seen plenty of above normal days. In fact, 24 days above normal on your high temperatures. And last week, of course, we set 3 record highs for the month of September. That was quite a bit, and we're going to finish out the month above normal, obviously. We are going to finish below normal on the rainfalls. In fact, today, no rainfall, only for the month, 4/10, and for the year, we're 34.41. We're below average right now, around 1.5 inches for the entire year, but that really doesn't tell the story of the drought. We have to look over the last few months, and you can see that we've been below normal for quite some time, including this month, around 3 3/4 inches below normal. And of course, radar is all clear. We have to go all the way out to the west coast before we start to see the next storm system now spinning over Idaho and also western parts of Montana this evening. But that is slowly moving in our direction, and that's giving us some hope in some rain chances. But right now, it's 77 in Joplin, feels like 77. Check out the humidity, 19%. That's bone dry right now. Another good thing with the warmer temperatures this evening and for this week has been the pollen count. It's been dropping, and that's good news. And it's going to be expected to be around 5.2 tomorrow. And if you're heading out to the lakes, it looks like it's going to be a pretty nice weekend to do that, with most of the lakes right out or slightly below normal in Kansas and Oklahoma. But in northwest Arkansas, they're about 3 feet below normal right now at Beaver Lake. Table Rock is about 5 feet below normal, and Stockton Lake is actually almost 6 feet below normal right now. So it looks like we need some rain in those lakes and streams to help out with that. We're looking at the future track tonight. Temperatures again in the 40s across the area with light easterly winds. Then tomorrow, we're expecting temperatures to rise into the upper 70s to around 80 degrees, 77 in Pittsburgh for the game. And then tomorrow night into Sunday morning, lows again, once again in the 40s to around 50 degrees. And then Sunday afternoon, we're expecting highs to be in the 70s and 80s across our area. So a nice weekend shaping up across the area. Then Monday morning, we're expecting lows to be in the lower 50s across our area. Over the next 7 days, the warm weather continues right through the weekend into early next week with slight rain chances on Wednesday and again on Friday. But we're going to start going downward in temperatures and up in rain chances, especially in the extended. Look at that. Next Sunday, we could see a high of only 59 degrees. Now that is what I call fall weather.
Yes, indeed. And boy, we need those rain chances. Let's hope we get some.
All right.
Thanks, Sam. Still ahead, the Lamar Tigers hit the road tonight for a Big 8 matchup against Mcdonald County. And the Pitt State Gorillas aim for their 8th straight win against the rival Missouri Southern Lions. Jacob Leonard has that and more up next.
Well, this week is a big night of high school football across the area. In southwest Missouri, Joplin, Webb City, Carthage, and Carl Junction are all at home this evening. Then there's this one, big one in the Big 8. The McDonald County Mustangs hosting Lamar. The Tigers are ranked 4th in Class 2. The Mustangs are number 9 in Class 4. Both teams enter the night at 4-1 overall. In southeast Kansas, the Baxter Springs Lions host Galena this evening. Galena is 2-2, Baxter 3-1, looking to rebound from their first loss of the season. Now we also get Columbus Frontenac, Fort Scott Labette County tonight. All of these high school games begin at 7 o'clock. The Pittsburgh State Gorillas host Missouri Southern tomorrow afternoon in the latest installment of the Miners Bowl. Now, tomorrow's meeting will be the 54th all-time meeting between the two programs. Now, it's been all Gorillas lately in this rivalry series. Pitt State has won 7 in a row against the Lions in 26 of the last 27 meetings. Now, this year, they've both been really good to this point. Pitt State's 4-0, ranked 10th in the nation. Missouri Southern is 3-1 and on a 3-game winning streak. Now, here are the two head coaches on what makes the other team so good.
Number 9 does a really nice job with the football. The thing that he does is if it's not there, he'll run and he'll get his yards, he'll pick up the first down, and then he'll slide. So that you can tell they're well coached. You can tell that they can do a lot of things on offense. So again, versus Central Missouri, they were airing that thing out and there were big plays all over the place. Well, versus Emporia, they controlled the line of scrimmage, controlled the clock, and just ran the football. So they're a 4-0 MIAA team. They're going to be a tough out.
They're winning fourth quarters. You know, they're battling. They're very strong up front. They got now some veteran guys up front, both offense and defensive line, very strong there. You can tell they've recruited some big people into that program the last several years, and that's starting with them. And then they have enough perimeter people, skilled players to make a lot of plays out there as well.
The Kansas City Chiefs are 2-1 to start the season. Last week, they suffered their first loss, falling on the road to the Colts 20-17. This week, Chiefs are back in prime time, and they remain on the road, facing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Like we do every Friday night, right now it's time to hear from the voice of the Chiefs, Mitch Holthus, in this week's Minute with Mitch.
To say it's been an unusual week's an understatement. First of all, prayers to all affected by Hurricane Ian. But no matter where this game was going to be played, it's Sunday Night Football and Mahomes versus Brady again. This will be Patrick Mahomes' 67th career start, so it's kind of fun to compare Brady to Mahomes after Brady's first 66 starts. Mahomes is number 1 in NFL passing history. Yards, touchdowns, completions, passer rating, and fewest interceptions in his first 66 games. All told, Mahomes the best start in history. Brady, 9th, 7th, 8th, and 5th in those categories. And Mahomes' record after 66 games, 52 wins and 14 losses. Brady, 49 wins and 17 losses. I know, 3 Super Bowls to 1, but stay tuned on this Minute with Mitch. The Minute with Mitch is brought to you by Como Jewelry. Every day's game day, Como Jewelry, Pittsburgh, Joplin.
Now, that Chiefs-Buccaneers game will kick off at 7:25 Sunday night in Tampa Bay. Now, that's it for sports. Be sure to join us right back here tonight at 10 for 4 State Friday night. We'll have high school football highlights and scores from all across the area. We're back after this.
Take time now to honor a local veteran. Evan Height served in the U.S. Army in 2010 and 2011. His hometown, Edna, Kansas, and we're proud to salute Specialist Evan Height, a 4 State hero. Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. We're going to visit the Carolinas after Ian made another landfall there. We'll also hear about recovery efforts in Florida. Also, a new drug to treat ALS has been approved by the FDA. And used cars are becoming too expensive for a growing number of car shoppers. Those stories, a lot more tonight. KOAM News at 9. Fox 14. A lot of you heading out to your local high school football game, and it's football weather.
Oh, it absolutely is, with lots of sunshine and cool temperatures in the morning and then warm afternoons. This evening, perfect conditions for football. Tomorrow for the Miners Bowl, same thing. Temperatures upper 70s. And then as we head through the rest of the forecast, we're looking at cooler temperatures and some rain chances coming in as well.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you right back here for KOAM News at 10. Let's make it a great evening.